Hello and welcome. This is It's Always About Love, and I'm life coach Lee Evans. I'm here with psychotherapist Lynn Lara. Lynn has been in private practice for many years, and today she brings all of that experience and wisdom to help you. We are here to answer your questions. It's our desire to help you and make what you learn from this podcast usable in your life right now. Do you have an issue that's troubling you or something you'd like to discuss? Email us at its always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. Now let's get started. Are you there, Lynn?
I am, Lee. I'm right here. Listen, because yesterday we talked about how women can support other women and the fact that Weinstein, Mr. Weinstein, what he's been doing, we started out with Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas, who's a Chief Justice on our Supreme Court. And then I talked about my own experience with a doctor while I was on a table being checked for my arthritis of the spine. And then we began to talk about Mr.
Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
Say his name, Lee. Oh,
Weinstein.
Well, that's true.
Harvey Weinstein.
You just surprised me. And then, and then we talked about the president as well, Donald Trump. So, and Lee, we haven't had any time to talk, but Lee has been looking at some articles that have come up today, and I
this is a
asked
short
her
one, and
if
it's
she
in
would read
reference
them
to
to
Jane
you. Is
Fonda.
that okay, Lee? And are you going to read whatever it is that you found about Christiane Amanpour?
Today is Jane Fonda admits she knew about Weinstein. It hadn't happened to me, so I didn't speak out. And that's what it is. It says actress Jane Fonda admitted to CNN's Christiane Amanpour that she knew about Harvey Weinstein's sexual assault as late as last year, but chose to keep it to herself. She said she was ashamed. She didn't say anything back then. In an interview, Fonda said she didn't speak out because I guess it hadn't happened to me, and so I didn't feel like it was my place. Fonda then brushed it off and insisted it's important that it come out, but let's not think that this is unique or horrific. This goes on all the time. It was.
What does that mean, that it's not unique or horrific? It is both. It is horrific. Who's saying it's not horrific?
Well, she's saying that what he was doing,
meaning that because
it's
she
that
hadn't
it come
said
out,
anything
but it's
about
not anything unique
Is that what they're
or
saying?
horrific. This goes on all the time.
Oh, that's baloney. I'm sorry. Jane, I love you. You are so wrong. It is both. It is horrific. Horrific. I know it goes on all the time, Jane. I know that it goes on all the time. But it's a horrible, horrible thing. I was just thinking back in my past because one of the men that I had tremendous respect for, he was a brilliant therapist. And I found out that he was, in fact, going to bed with many of his women clients. I went right to him and I said, "What the hell are you doing? You're hurting other women." This was years ago. This would have been back in the 1970s. Yep, I don't think I had my degree yet, but I was so angry. I said, "What are you doing? You're ruining those women. And you're hurting your career. How dare you do this?" He just said, Lynn. I said, "No, I'm really serious. I mean it." And it did end up that he did lose his license. in the state of California. And what a sad thing. What a sad thing. Great, great career. He was brilliant. I don't care. He was wrong to do what he was doing, taking advantage of women. So, okay.
Sorry,
And I hadn't talked
you
about
cut
that
out. What
yesterday.
did you say? I missed what you said.
And do you have anything?
Okay.
So Christiane was the reporter who was working on it with Jane Fonda?
Right.
Christiane Amanpour was the reporter who was working on it. She was the one who was working with Jane Fonda on this? Okay. Well, okay. I wonder if she had anything to say about it and if she knew that it was in fact going on. So we're going to hear a lot more. Actually, the other thing is that I said that Harvey was running his own treatment, and I knew exactly where he was going to go into treatment at. But when they found out that he had, and I don't know that this is the sequence of events, but I knew that they would have to do something. They're not going to be seeing him at the treatment center. They're putting him in a home that no one else will know what's going on there, and they will give him treatment at the place where he's going to be. So, and we don't know if it's Arizona or not, but there's one extremely good treatment center for sexual problems, for codependence. It's probably the best place in the country, and I just love several of the therapists who are there. They're great, really good people. And let's see, and in Palm Springs, there's another really good treatment center for alcoholism, though. That's the one that Betty Ford started. And Betty Ford is Gerald Ford's wife. She was an alcoholic. She was honest about it. She was so sick that she was drinking anything that came with alcohol in it. That meant cough syrup, too, in order when they'd taken alcohol away from her. But what a really beautiful woman
We do have
to
some
be that
letters,
honest
and
about
it
what was
just so
going on.
happened
And
that
then
we
she
heard from
began
one of our listeners,
a
Jane Fonda,
treatment center called the Betty Ford
had said
Treatment
something
Center.
about Harvey
Good woman.
Weinstein, so that's why
So,
we visited
yeah.
that. But we do
So,
have,
what are we going to do
well, that's
today,
why I
Lee?
visited it.
We didn't
Yes,
talk about that, but I know we've got some letters.
in the country.
Why you visited?
Let's see.
Yes,
And we
okay.
do
So
have
one of our
email
people wrote us.
our
Oh,
listeners that
where's she
emailed
from?
in.
Do you know?
And
Is it
if
one of
you'd
the
like,
people from out of the
would you like
country?
me to read
That's
one
what,
to you?
in the
Okay.
country. Okay. I just
Okay,
wondered
so
if
this
this
is
was
it.
being spread
I have
all
been
over the
married for
world. It
3
will
years
be
now,
soon if it's not.
but we've
Yes,
been
so
together for 6 years. Within our first year of marriage, and while I was pregnant, my husband cheated until I found out, which I have forgiven but can't forget. We now have a second child together
sure,
and moved
sure.
to a new
Yes.
location, which is away from both of our families. Things are tough at the moment with money. I am working long hours and the house is starting to fall apart. I feel that we don't really talk. We don't have a sex life. I have gained so much weight since the 2 kids and don't really get to exercise. My husband is always moaning that I don't show him any affection. To be honest, I am just too tired and not really feeling it. I don't feel sexy like I used to. Okay. When we argue, it sometimes ends up with violence, but this time I called the police because he slapped me in front of our 2 kids. When he was released, I told him to go live with his parents for a while until we sort some of these things out, and he and or both of us get counseling. I have not been happy and haven't been for a while. I guess I stay at work late and sometimes I don't want to go home. Will we ever be together again? Is separation the right choice? You should. Oh, that's a different one. I think. No, that's right. You're right. It is it. Yeah. Yes.
I don't have a copy of that, do I, Lee? I've been married for 3 years now. Ah, that's a different one. It is? Let's see. I've been married for 3 years now.
Well, when I read
We've
it,
been together for 6 years. Okay.
to me,
How sad. This
when
is a
she
very
asked, "Will
sad
we ever
letter.
be together again?" I think she wants to be
You
back
know, I don't
together.
know what she
Because then she
wants,
asks, "Is
Lee.
separation the right choice?"
What do you think about this
I
letter
think it is the right
or this
choice for right
case?
now, because it says that when they argue, it ends up with, she said, it ends up with violence, and that he slapped her, and so she called the police. Right. So I'm thinking that she
Why?
wants to be together. She's not quite sure, but she did do the right thing, I think.
Right.
Yes. And by asking him to
In front of
leave,
the children. Good for her. But that's a good thing to do.
and then said that they wouldn't get back together until one or both of them went to counseling.
Yeah, by calling the police. Yes. Good for her. Listen, and that's a good thing too. I'm bothered by something. I have not been happy and haven't been for a
I
while.
think they do.
I guess I stay at work late. What's going on with the children? Why do I always... I care so much about kids. You guys, what's going on with your children if you stay at work late? Who takes care of them? And do they need their mommy?
I
Of
agree.
course they do. Of course they do. So I want you to stop that, Mom. I want you to be home for your kids as soon as it's time for you to be at home. I don't want you to stay away because the kids are the ones that are going to suffer there. And no more fighting in front of the kids. Oh, they've had 2 children. You don't want, listen to me, for all of you, you don't want your children to see the 2 of you fight with each other, especially if it becomes violent. I'll tell you what will happen is those children will learn. If it's a little girl and a little boy, the little boy will learn to become violent with his wife or his girlfriend when he grows up. And the little girl will learn that mommies get hit. You guys, you don't want to do that in front of your children. Not any of you. And I respect you, Mother, for writing to us and telling us this. I care about your kids. Oh, and don't think your kids won't remember it. In fact, it might be something that you and Dad, their dad, need to sit down and talk with them about and have Dad take part in it as well and have him tell them that what he did was wrong because they saw him do it. And you need to say also that it was wrong and it hurt you. And you don't like to see their daddy act that way with you. Okay? You guys need to together, if he's willing to do that, and he should be right now, you need to sit
They're
down
learning
and
that
be with your
mommy's not
kids
there,
about
obviously,
this.
either.
So then you got him to move out and go live with his parents. So what they're learning, think about the kids, what they're learning is that Daddy's not there anymore. What else are they learning, Lee? Yeah. Mom, who watches the kids while you're gone? Are they young or are they old? I can't. Are they little kids? No, they've only been married 6 years. They're little kids. We're talking about little kids. You know, let me say this to all of you. If I listened or watch, I rarely watch Phil McGraw because I just am not crazy about Phil at all. But and other people, and I'm not saying I'm a great therapist, although I am very good. Phil is very good too. But what we need to do is focus on the children and stop making it okay for parents to
Right.
get
I
a
wasn't
divorce.
there, but they stayed together. Yes.
It hurts our kids, folks. It tears them apart. How many
I don't know all
of
the
you,
particulars
when
about it,
you
but I
were
know
little,
that
were raised in a
I
home
was
where
around
your
a
mom
lot
and
of
dad
different
got a
people.
divorce? I was. Lee, were you?
No, I don't think they were foster homes. I
So
think I
your
was
mom
just
and
around
dad
a lot of
stayed
different
together?
people. So I didn't see I guess my mother or my father
What happened?
up
Why
until
weren't
I
you there?
turned 10, 11, maybe. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just know, but I know that they were together somehow.
Were you in
Yeah, we don't
foster
know.
homes?
We don't know. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know who knows because there's nobody left old enough to remember, and I'm the oldest one.
That's awful, Lee. Oh, who knows? Who knows? I know. Who does? No. No, Lee,
Yes.
that's a question. Wow. Oh, isn't that something? I'm all that's left in my family, and I'm the oldest. What happened that you and I ended up, and everyone else died, which is a sad thing. But I'm amazed. I miss my brother and sisters so much, and they're gone. And I mean, they both died of cancer, which is very sad. But I miss them terribly. I didn't mean and my mother's gone and my father's gone, but I didn't mean it to be this way. So no, my mother and father were not together and they got a divorce. My mother had fallen in love with someone else. They got a divorce when I was 10, 11, 12, right around in there. And you better believe that it did affect me. I felt very protective of my father. I was angry with my mother for doing that to him and taking our dad away. It affected me terribly, okay? And it wiped out my security. So I just want you to hear that. And it hurt my younger brother and my younger sister. My sister is 4 years younger than I am. My brother is 10 years younger than I am. And it hurt both of them so much, but they got their security from me. I became their mother.
Wow.
In effect, I became their mother, and I took care of them. I babysat them all the time. I was there with them. So I cared so much about those kids. So much so that I really think I took my mother's place. I know I did. So, you guys, you want to be, and I'm not setting myself up as anything. I want you to hear me say, because you don't hear it with other therapist programs, or if you go for marriage counseling, you don't hear it. You can hear sometimes, and it shocks me, the therapist encouraging the couple to split apart. That's the worst thing that can happen to children. Please, try to take care of your kids. So what we've done with this writer is we focused on what's going on with her children because she stays away at night. What's that going to do to your kids? Honey, you've got to. We may not get what we think our husbands or or ex-husbands or whatever. You may want them to do and to be very responsible. And if they're not going to do it for you or for their kids, you're going to have to do it whether you think it's right or not. It doesn't matter. You love those children. You've got to set your own life aside, and you've got to give your children a life. I'm sorry. You will not be sorry that you did it. And I don't know if you'll end up being a rejected parent or not, a forsaken parent. But I do know that you will have respect for yourself and know that you gave the very best you possibly could to your children. It's so important. So I'm recommending that you and Daddy sit down with your two children, and I don't know how young they are. They may be too young to do this with. But at some level, they know Daddy's not there and Daddy hit Mommy. That's what they know. You need to sit down and talk with them and tell them how much you love them and how much Daddy loves them, how much Mommy loves them. They need to hear it. And what's the question? I've not been happy and haven't been. I don't hear that you want to get a divorce, Mom. I want to know if Dad is drinking too much. Anything over a drink or so a day is too much. A drink or two, and you're going to think I'm being really a teetotaler on you all. I'm not. I mean that. It doesn't. We get really confused by what alcoholism is. But he hit you in front of kids,
that.
or hit you, period. And that to me shows alcoholism. So you didn't mention it. If that's true, he needs to be in meetings, in AA meetings, and frankly, you need to go to Al-Anon. But take your kids with you. You can take your children to Al-Anon meetings. Did you know that, Lee? Yeah. They have meetings where they want the parents, to not be away from their children. So they'll have the meeting, and they'll have a babysitter there. And,
I agree. We need to focus on the children. Your advice to the mother,
especially in bigger cities,
that she needed to focus on the children, even though the husband might not
and if you drink
do it,
too much, Mom,
someone
you need
has
to be in
do
AA
it.
too.
And I think that's really good advice.
What do you think?
Divorce hurts our kids. I agree with that.
That's my main focus.
And give your children a life. I definitely agree with that. I believe she will respect herself because it's doing the right thing. I agree with that. I think everybody needs to go to Al-Anon. I would like to say that.
Okay. Oh, it does. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, that can't happen, Lee. You won't get your way. It's for people. Al-Anon is a 12-step meeting program that is for men and women who are in love, in a relationship with someone who drinks, is an alcoholic. Okay? That's what Al-Anon's for. Isn't that right, Lee? Yeah. Yeah. Good program. Good program. Lots of wisdom there, folks. And it's free. Okay. And you can go to meetings where they have babysitters. And I don't think your kids are old enough, but they also have Alateen. But that's for kids who are like 10 and over, 12 and over, 10 and 12 are over. And those kids get to go in and talk and learn about alcoholism and their chances
don't
of
have
having
enough to give our
inherited it genetically.
Email
and
enough
also,
justice because, again, it's another one dealing with children.
What it's been like, what it's done to them.
And so I don't think we have enough time to really give it enough attention. So I was wondering, I would like to suggest we save it to Monday's
We
program.
only have how many minutes left, Lee?
I think, just like you said,
Okay.
Al-Anon is a fantastic program. This has been a good podcast because a lot of important information came out today in regards to this.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I love you too.
That's fine.
Oh,
That's fine.
you got me there.
You you are kind. You are kind. I just love you to pieces. I love you more. I always did that. You know, when my daughter was little, I used to sing to her,
Sassy.
and I would sing, Mommy loves Kimberly. Mommy loves Kimberly. And I sang it again and again and again. What a beautiful thing for her to hear. Well, now I have a little dog, so I'm singing to my little girl dog. Mommy loves, what's her name? Sassy. Oh, but I've teased my daughter over the years, and I told I used to have another dog named Peaches, and little Peachy, and I'd say, Peachy, go talk to your sister about, and I'd be sending her to see my daughter. That was funny. I told my daughter she had a dog for a sister. Oh, well. So. You know, I want to say this though. We've had a dog who was really going blind and was definitely didn't hear well at all and coughed constantly. And I was going to take him to have him groomed this morning, and I just thought, this little dog, he suffers so much. So we talked about it because he coughed all the time, and I was giving him peanut butter. We had medication for him, but it didn't take away the cough. It would last for about a half an hour, and then he'd start coughing again. So I gave him peanut butter, and that worked.
Oh,
and he got so he knew exactly when he was going to get peanut butter. He came, but
it's hard.
Has little Winston, and we had little Winston put down this morning. I'm feeling sad, but it needed to be done. It did. It was, he was coughing more than he wasn't coughing. It was sad. So, yeah. Well, we've just had animals that when they get to be the age that they are,
I remember.
It really is time.
Yeah.
For those of you, I'm just kind of chatting now.
It was good, but
movie called Soylent Green. S is in Sam, O-I, L-E-N is in Nellie, T is in Tom. Soylent Green. And quite frankly, it was about having older people put down. Do you remember that? Well, it was but it was a good movie. And Edward G. Robinson, it was the last movie he ever starred in. And so I really do like science fiction. And then I love 2001, A Space Odyssey. Love Stanley Kubrick, you guys. Oh, Lee already had to hear this. I love Stanley Kubrick, who is no longer with us. And God is in the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey. I told Lee that. And then Eyes Wide Shut. None of you liked Eyes Wide Shut. I know you didn't, because I was the only one who liked it. but it was actually a really excellent movie. So there was somebody who had a talk radio program then. I hadn't started my talk radio programs yet, but he said, no, or had I? I forget. I guess maybe I had. But anyway, I called in because it was Oscars night that night. And he said, call in and tell me what movie you think will make it tonight. So I called in and I said, Eyes Wide Shut. And he said, no. Eyes Wide Shut was not nominated. And I said, no, but it should have been. he said, "You like that?" He said, "I couldn't stand that movie." I said, "No, it was excellent."
Wow.
So he promised me he'd see it again. I
You told
love
me
Stanley
that.
Kubrick. You
told me,
have to understand. That movie was about the masks, masks, that we wear in order to keep ourselves from becoming close to others, our spouses. It's a wonderful, wonderful movie. And did I say that Stanley Kubrick had Jesus in
Okay.
that movie?
Thank you.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah, we're pretty good.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Oh,
And
well, that's okay.
so, just go ahead and rent those movies.
Oh.
Do you rent movies anymore? I don't know. Get them someplace. But the 2 movies, all of Stanley Kubrick's movies were great, but those are my 2 faves.
So do I.
My 2 faves. I'm done, Lee, and I think I'm on time. Thank you for letting me talk. I know you care about my little dog, Lee. You're sweet. She is the nicest. Lee is one of my favorite people about animals.
I agree.
She's wonderful.
And
I love people who love animals. But I don't love people who say, "I only love animals, I don't love humans." Leah's not that kind of a person. She loves human beings too. And so do I. I love animals, but we gotta love the human beings too. And I'm shocked. Can I please say this about Jane Fonda? I'm shocked, and how I respect her for being honest, but she said it didn't happen to her, so she didn't want to get, oh, God. And I'm sad because that's the way Jane had the guts to say it out loud.
And remember, yesterday's show, we said we need to stand up for each other. A lot of the women in Hollywood
were going through was,
we need to stand up for each other.
Now it happened to somebody else.
We've got 2 movie suggestions.
You care about other women.
A lot of good advice.
It's wrong.
Wisdom today.
Okay, I'm done, Lee. Don't let me talk anymore.
In regards to our email. That was very good and very good. So, if anybody else has a movie suggestion or would like to chime in on what's going on in the news, write us at ITS, always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. We will be back Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, remember, it's always about love. Oh, we could do it. We just got to time it better. Okay. We'll practice. Okay. Bye, you guys. Yes.
It's always about love. See, we can't do it right. We don't say it right together. Darn it. I was trying to give you a second chance. Okay, we'll practice. Bye, you guys. Have a nice